Let me start by saying that I was born an unusual child, an indigo child. From a very young age, extraordinary abilities began to manifest in me, you could say, magical abilities. I could predict the weather, foresee what would happen to a person. And then I realized that I would direct these abilities to help people. And now I am helping people. This is the meaning of my life. For me, Battle of the Magicians was a very interesting project, because here I met unusual people, very strong, interesting, each with their own abilities. Of course, I was very sorry to leave the project, but nevertheless, I continue to support all the participants, cheer for them. And I wish all those who left the project good luck, success, that they do not need to calm down, give up, but continue their path. Every mother wishes her child to be strong, healthy, robust, and to achieve success. And I advise mothers to do such a practice every day before bedtime. You need to stroke your child's head 7 times and say strong affirmations. For example, if you want your child to be strong, then you should say so. You are strong, you are already strong. For example, you are healthy, you are smart. And in this way, this practice will really help the child become a very strong individual and achieve success in life.
Actually, I was born near a temple and was raised in a temple from childhood. All my childhood was spent in nature, among mountains, rivers. I spent a lot of time walking, meditating, engaging in spiritual practices, getting up with the sun, lying down when the sun set behind the mountains, living with the rhythms of nature, and studying all those sacred practices that my wise mentors passed on to me. And for me, it's a very unusual turn in my life. Because just a year ago, I managed to enter the ordinary world because I spent my entire life in retreat. And from childhood, I knew that I would have a special purpose, and the time would come. The time which has now come for me to be able to pass on all my accumulated knowledge to people. I'm here precisely so that all the things I have studied for so long, painstakingly, with great diligence, now would help people. I want to tell you a secret. Shortly before I found myself here, I was doing my usual meditation, and during meditation, I received a very strong sign. It was a very bright flash, during which a very clear message came that something very important was coming soon. Some very important project through which this energy would be able to help people. And of course, when I found out about this Battle of the Magicians project, I agreed without hesitation. And when I came here, I realized why I'm here. Because such good people, such bright, wise, pure people have gathered here, such strong energies, such a wonderful team. And I feel, being here every second, that this whole project is helping people very much. And already now, all the time while it's going on, it has helped many people already. And how many more it will help. And of course, I am very grateful to the powers participating here and to the people participating in this project.
I was invited to the Battle of the Magicians project as a skeptical expert. I am a psychologist. And I am quite skeptical about various energy practices, magical practices, shamanism. And so it was before this project. Here I looked at it from a completely different angle. I resisted what I saw for a long time. I couldn't believe that the things happening here could really happen and have some powerful influence on people. I resisted this for a long time, but in the end, I understood one important thing. It doesn't matter how is called the direction of the master's work. Whether it's shamanism, whether it's gyud or other directions. I realized that if it can help a person solve his problems, get rid of diseases, somehow help him to improve his life, then it is possible. And even though we cannot explain how it happens, if it happens and helps people, then it must be. And I understand that I begin to believe in what is happening. I think the trials that took place here were quite difficult because for an unprepared person, without any abilities and power, skills, it's simply impossible to pass these trials. And the masters who were here showed simply amazing results. Well, I think the credit for that goes to the fact that they are truly professionals in their field. I liked the direction of the Slavic healer, Slavism, the most. These songs, which calm the baby like lullabies, are like some immersion into childhood, into one's inner world, a connection with something deeper and more important than what we touch in everyday life, living in the city and doing our usual business. I think this direction can help find some great resource within oneself, a great power that can be applied in one's life. This Battle of the Magicians project has inspired me a lot. Since I, as a psychologist, help people, I have become even more inspired by the fact that people can be helped in completely different situations and by different methods. And now I feel a desire to expand my arsenal, my toolkit as a psychologist, to help even more people and bring more benefit to a larger number of people.
Is the camera on? Please tell us how you came to shamanism.
I inherited the shamanic gift. In my family, for many generations, there have been shamans, quite famous in their lineage, that is Altai. But the story is probably more interesting because I did not directly receive the transmission of knowledge from them, because during the Soviet Union, 2 generations of my shamanic ancestors were shot. Many viewers probably know how difficult that time was. There was even an order from the Soviet authorities that if a shaman performed a shamanic ritual against the Soviet government, he was either shot or sentenced and sent to faraway lands, so to speak. So I did not receive direct transmission of knowledge. When I was a child, it seemed totally normal to hear the trees or talk to animals. There's an absolutely fantastic story of when I was a small child, 4 or 5 years old, very young. My parents were sent to the Far East by distribution at that time in the Soviet Union. They dressed me for winter in sheepskin coats and hats, so I was such a small, clumsy child. They sent me out for a walk, and at some point remembered that I'd been walking outside for a long time and hadn't returned home. When my parents ran to look for me on the outskirts of this remote village, they saw fresh tracks from a snow leopard. Accordingly, I didn't remember this situation for a long time. But when I was engaging in meditations and Eastern techniques, I remembered this moment. A snow leopard came, very hungry. It had been a hard, cold year, and he was finally going to have a meal. A wonderful, tasty child walking around without supervision. He approached, but at that moment, my main shamanic abilities opened up, and for me, it was so natural to talk to him. He saw that I was a descendant of shamans and said, "I respect you," and left. So since childhood, these things have been happening. For many years, I did not realize that this was something unusual, that spirits were obeying me, that I could control people in class, control other children. Even the tallest and oldest boys respected me in class, though I was the smallest one. And then it was such a difficult period in our country, when there was perestroika. It was just the moment when it was the age of self-identification. I had to understand who I was. It was at this moment that many different coaches came to our country, foreigners offering many courses, for example, rebirthing or holotropic breathwork. I remember attending them. It was all incredibly interesting. And since no one had told me about shamanism by that time, of course I began to be interested in Eastern techniques. So my first entry into the world of spirituality was yoga, Buddhism, Eastern philosophies. I even went abroad to study because of perestroika. And only there, having mastered meditation, having mastered such spiritual techniques through meditation, I was told there were shamans in my lineage. And no matter how much they invited me to stay in India to teach healing, I refused. I went back to my country, started looking for my roots, and here I found them. It turned out my grandmother began to talk, and it finally opened up and turned out we were shamans. We had a large lineage, and here I already received the first initiation from the shamanic ancestors. And they instructed me that I needed to go to Altai. And already on the Altai journey, I found my teacher, the one who continues to teach me shamanism, a very great person. I think that thanks to him, I understand why I live, why I need shamanism, and what I can give to people. So that's my path in shamanism.
The most exciting adventure of your life. Cyclops and centaurs are waiting for you. Angels will be your guides to the world of miracles. Take the power. Become a warrior of light. Save the planet. Learn the secrets of little green men and life on other planets. How the gods create your destiny, and is it possible to change it? All the mysteries of humanity, life and death, angels and spirits in the animated masterpiece Life After Life.
Shamanism is modern, simple, and very accessible, and it's very effective. Why? Because shamanism is simply an ancient culture. It's a worldview that the world consists not only of the forms we see, but that everything around is also alive, and that there may be things our eyes do not see. This room, for example. We feel that there's something here. It's either comfortable or uncomfortable, pleasant or unpleasant. But we can't see comfort with our eyes. This something is the subtle world, the presence of living energy, as scientists say, or shamans say spirit. That's it. So how can shamanism help? Because the first postulate of shamanism is that everything is alive and everything deserves respect. Whether it's a domestic cat or dog, whether it's a plant in the forest or a plant in a pot on my windowsill, whether it's just the wind, whether it's nature, or if it's spirits that we can't see with our eyes, everything deserves respect. And it's the simplest advice for any modern person, especially when I come into some official institution. Since often my students ask such modern questions in my classes, many of us have had a problem coming to some official institution and getting the certificate we need. We have bureaucracy developed, unfortunately, and so on. Simple advice, how shamanism works. You come, for example, to the judiciary or to the tax office to submit a declaration, and the first thing you do when you enter this wonderful, beautiful building, you don't just read the information about which office you need to go to, but you stand for a few minutes and try to feel the spirit of this organization. There is a spirit there. There is some subtle material essence that governs all this. We feel it, we greet it, say, hello, I came with respect. I have nothing against the tax police, against representatives of justice, against some administrative people. I came with good intentions. I just need a certificate. I just need to get the necessary documents. And at that moment, when you feel such warmth, real warmth, you stop getting offended, thinking beforehand something bad will be done to you. And you go into the office, take a ticket, and go to the right desk. I recently got my passport like that. It was terrible. Queues everywhere. I greeted the spirit of the passport office. It's such a big, beautiful building. And I go upstairs and already approach the door. Knock. The door in front of me seems to open on purpose. Just someone came out of there. I enter, they smile at me. Where have you seen that? When you enter the passport office, they smile at you. They smiled at me. They say, please sit down, and it begins. Fingerprints here, photos here, this here, and so on. And instantly everything's done. They say, come at this date, this time, pick up your new passport. I come back in a month, enter the same office, they smile at me and remember me. Can you imagine? People from the passport office. That's what shamanism is. If you understand that everything around you is alive, you enter a space, a new city, a new country, a new room. You wish luck and health to the spirit of that place and say that you came with respect. That's it. Everything you ask for in that place will be done for you. Shamanism is very modern. You can make everything simpler. Sometimes you don't have to make much effort. Just ask and the spirits will help.
In life, I am a practicing psychologist, an expert in Ericksonian hypnosis. I was invited to participate in this project as an expert so that I could explain from the point of view of practical psychology what is happening there. I was amazed by the trials themselves because they were quite complex. And for example, for a psychologist to find out the true cause, it would take a lot of time, maybe several weeks, But the experts, our magicians, could detect the true cause very quickly, literally within a few seconds, and this, of course, surprised me. I even envied them as a practical psychologist, that this is a very powerful toolkit. Actually, our black mage aroused more skepticism. Whether it's my personal attitude towards black magic is something negative, or it's some kind of stereotype, I don't know. Because all the magicians were positive. They smiled somehow, but he seemed a bit tense to me. Whether it's his style, or the fact that he communicates with dark powers makes him more gloomy. I don't know. I myself am a positive person. I really like people who are also positive in life. In this project, Battle of the Magicians, it was very useful for me to compare the work of a psychologist and the work of a mage or a psychic, a specialist who works with other worlds. I realized how psychology somewhat yields. Psychologists are not so flashy. They don't have so many sacred objects. That is, our psychological work is more modest, quiet, lacking some brightness. It was very useful for me to compare the methods, and this naturally expands my boundaries as a specialist and as a person. The current situation shows that people are experiencing more neuroses, psychoses, stress, and there is a real lack of truly trustworthy professionals to turn to. And this project is very pleasing because there are professionals. It was very nice to watch them work. And they instill hope that they will have students, that these directions will develop, and that these wonderful specialists will be able to help big people. I was very surprised and pleased that some of the heroes who came to the show came back after several days to share the results they had already achieved in a few days. Honestly, I didn't expect such a powerful breakthrough in 2 days. And people came, sincerely thanked, and I saw they continued to be in a trance, that is, the work that was done with them continued even afterwards. And I think that based on their condition, it will continue further. And it seems to me that this is very important. That the work is not just a one-time procedure, but really awakens something in the subconscious, awakens some power, connects to some powerful resource that will work for as long as the person needs it. I consider this a very powerful, useful property. I wish our respected mages to continue to receive enlightenment, develop their abilities, and give the world the love, the knowledge that they have, and which, I hope, will continue to develop and flourish. And I wish people to get to these magicians for appointments and improve the quality of their lives.
I am very glad that I got into this project, because everything that happens here vividly demonstrates the reality and the possibility of non-traditional methods of helping people, which I hope will leave no doubt for everyone watching this project that the powers of traditions, the powers of ancient rituals, the power and wisdom that is embedded in our hearts, in our consciousness, can overcome all obstacles and illnesses, crises, and disharmony in relationship. I will share the method that my grandmother passed on to me. She was a healer. She helped people even in very difficult situations. She got paralyzed people back on their feet. So she said, "If you, my granddaughter, want to be happy, you must be in harmony with your heart, with Mother Earth and Heavenly God. And how do you do that? Just look at me." She told me to place my right hand over my heart and think inside myself vividly about what I want to achieve, what I want to accomplish, and see it as vividly as possible. And then you lift all of your dreams, you lift all of your aspirations up into the blue sky, and you give them to the stars, the bright sun, the moon, and you ask the power that created you on this earth to give you the wisdom and understanding of what you really want to wish for. You ask sincerely for it to protect you from everything that would cause harm. Ask sincerely to give you what is for the good, even if you do not ask for it, and to protect you from what is evil and bad, and protect you from what hinders you, even if you ask for the opposite. Ask for the will of the one who created all of us. And when you feel it, the light comes to you, bright, sincere, creating everything. When you feel that, lower your right palm and touch the earth on which you live. Remember the rivers, hills, valleys. Remember the forest where you and I go berry picking. Recall the brightest flowers and the deepest valleys you've ever seen, and ask the earth to manifest what the Creator has wished for you. And when you feel the response from the earth, it should enter you with power. As you feel the power entering you, place your right hand back on your heart. And in that moment, you will feel and understand that we all live in one world, in a world of harmony, in a world of love. And if love resides in your heart, the whole world will respond with love. I wish all those watching this show, dear ones, to love life. Love life, love yourself, thank your destiny. And remember, the earth embodies everything that is wished from above and created by your heart. Love to yourself and to the world. Thank you for being together all this time. Thank you all.
The goal of my direction is energetic cleansing and energetic protection. I want every person coming home after a working day to feel clean, purified, free, and in general to live without tension, without burden, without anyone negatively influencing them. I like to live joyfully, inspired, and for people to feel kindness towards each other. I'm for goodness, I'm for good relationships. I strive for it and teach it to all people. Every day. From my perspective, we all receive energetic contacts. Most of these energetic contacts burden our lives, meaning, roughly speaking, they are negative, heavy for us. Therefore, for example, at work or, let's say, the most constant method is coming home after work, taking a shower, feeling the heaviness wash away with the water. During this, you can chant a mantra that symbolizes my direction, Sampo, and feel the weight dissipate. The Sampo mantra enhances this feeling. Next, after you've showered, the most effective method that has been in use for thousands of years is to light a candle. Take a breath in, exhale, close your eyes, and feel the energy streams that entered you throughout the day. For those who feel energy and believe in auras carrying these energetic flows. Recall which ones were heavy: arguments, sadness, melancholy, various depressive states of other people. Feel all of this, and with each exhale, direct it towards the candle, feeling the heaviness leaving your energy field, burning away, cleansing you. 7 such passes need to be made. Calmly inhale, relax, eyes closed. Exhale. I remove all negativity. With these words, the negativity leaves. Inhale, relaxation. Exhale, slight tension. I remove all negativity. Inhale, relaxation, and I remove negativity and heaviness from my life. If you do this with such settings, with such words, with a certain state of confidence, everything will work out. Of course, additional powers are needed, which are developed during the practices in the Sampo system. Good luck and purification, and of course, joy and kindness. I believe this is what people need most now. People have felt what energy is. They've seen energy phenomena. I am very happy for the winner and for those who witness these effects. I wish you to watch this daily instead of TV series.